Okay, even though something is saying that it's not working, it does look like it might actually be working. Okay, even though something is saying that it's... All right, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Sometimes Zoom and Facebook just don't want to play well together, even though technical difficulties happen. All right. Thank you for your patience as I try to get this thing started. Boy. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let me get this here so that I can see comments from folks. Sorry, please be patient with me for a moment because it's technology gremlins are not playing nice at the moment. All right. There we go. My goodness. So I have a friend who's a teacher. We were over at their house the other night, and she was saying that she was, having a lot of resistance about going back to school. There's just a lot of stuff to be nervous about, and after all these changes over the past year. And she said, "Could you do some tapping for teachers?" And I said, "Well, of course I could." You try to do something nice, and the technology just doesn't want to work. But here we are. It's all good. So go ahead and just do this real quick. All right. So now that, Carrie, there you are. Awesome. So everyone, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Noticing what you're feeling physically and what you're feeling emotionally. And go ahead and think about something that might be coming up that you might have some resistance around. Now, as I said, this is primarily designed for teachers and other school workers who might have some ambivalence, if not downright resistance, to going back to school. But I can already see that there are a number of folks on here who are not teachers and maybe not working in schools, but just want to do some tapping. And as always, just allowing yourself still with your eyes closed and allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on in there so that as we go through this, you can clear whatever's going on for you. You can make every tapping round that we do relevant for you, whatever it might be that you're avoiding. So just allow yourself to be aware of that resistance. And yes, parents worried about going back, sending your kids back to school. Following your breath through your body and notice the fear that's in there. Whatever it is that you're feeling resistance around, that part of you that says, I don't want to go back to school, or I don't want my kids to go back to school, or I don't want whatever it might be that's coming up. Just allow yourself to be aware of where you feel that in your body. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong it might be. Allow yourself to be aware of whatever it might be that you're most afraid of. Obviously, for many people, it's the Delta variant and how that might be transmitted, but there could be a number of different things. Just after a year of doing things differently, it's going back to things in a way that that feels different now. So just that change, a change in your routine. Just allowing yourself to be aware of where that resistance is, where that fear is in your body. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Even though I feel all this fear and resistance, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel all this fear and resistance, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel all of this fear and resistance, especially around going back to school, and all the possible consequences of that, including just a change in my current routine. Even though I feel all this fear and resistance, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved. All this fear and resistance. All this fear and resistance. All this fear and resistance. All this part of me that says, I don't want to go. I really don't want to go back to school. Or I don't want to send my kids back to school. It's just that I have all this fear and resistance. And then I might feel bad about that. All this guilt about not wanting to go back to school. So now I got two problems. All this fear and all this guilt about not wanting to go back. And I choose to process these. And I choose to clear them. I choose to love and appreciate that part of me that's telling me I need to be afraid. I'm allowing myself to know I don't need fear to make me smarter. I can take whatever precautions I need to take. I can make whatever choices I need to make. And I can do so with a sense of peace. And maybe part of me says, this is just crazy. Why aren't these people paying attention? Why are they trying to open schools? And if I get upset enough, maybe I can change their mind. Or maybe if I get upset enough, I won't go back. And I don't feel like that's an option. So I can't calmly make that decision. I feel like I'm being forced into a dangerous place. Or my kids are being forced into a dangerous place. And I feel helpless. No wonder I feel so scared. No wonder I feel so much resistance. People other than me are deciding to put me into harm's way. People other than me are deciding my fate. So I may feel some anger and resentment along with the fear. And I choose to process that too. I'm allowing myself to see what choices I have. And allowing myself to make whatever decisions I need to make. Giving myself the freedom to choose. So that going back to school is my choice. And I choose to do it in the safest way possible. I choose to make whatever choices I need to make for the highest good of all concerned. And I love and appreciate those parts of me that are feeling so much frustration. It's not just about going back to school now. This is the accumulation of a lot of stress. And I'm taking this opportunity to process that. Allowing myself to heal. Whatever might be there to heal. Part of me really doesn't want to go back. Possibly for more reasons than I'm consciously aware of. And part of me does want to go back. I want the benefits that come from school. I love the opportunity to make a difference. I love my kids. At least mostly. Part of me might even focus on the parts or kids that I don't love as much. To try to make it worse for myself. Not because I'm bad or stupid. I'm just trying to protect myself. I'm trying to protect myself from a lot of people. The people in charge making this decision, and all those people out there who have been angry at teachers over the past year for not wanting to go back to school. Those people who have insisted that school needs to open, even when cases were rising. What is up with those people? A lot of people have been feeling a lot of fear. A lot of people making choices based on fear. A lot of people pissing other people off. And I just don't want to deal with that. Not because I'm bad or stupid. I'm just trying to keep myself safe. And I choose to find the ways that I can do that and help other people be safe too. And I choose to do so with as much peace as possible. And I choose to love myself in the process. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Just with your eyes closed, just allow yourself to feel what's going on in there. Noticing how much stress is there right now, how much fear, how much resistance. And go ahead and in the chat box, share with me what's going on in there. It's exciting to see people from around the world. Thoughts, comments, questions, stuff that's coming up. Or is everyone so excited they've already gone back to school even before it opens? So, yeah, teaching feels challenging and sucks my energy. Will me protecting myself offend others? Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, definitely acknowledging that fear, because we have all this programming telling us that we shouldn't or couldn't, and all this stuff about not acknowledging our feelings. And it's like, okay, even when we need to do something, even when we've decided to do something because we know it's important, but it still feels scary, at least to acknowledge, say, okay, I'm scared about this. Feel inadequate about the challenges. Yeah. Okay. And Tanya, having to take time away from your own child to go to go deal with other kids. And what that impact, this is fear of what impact it's going to have on your time, on your well-being, on your relationships, and on your health. And and so in that last tapping round, and go ahead and everyone, you can see that I'm still tapping collarbone point. As long as we're here, go ahead and be clearing. Even though we're not doing a formal tapping round right now, just go ahead and you can be tapping through all the different points if you like, or just tapping one particular point, but allow yourself to keep processing that stuff. Not even realizing that I'm holding so much fear and in my gut and body. Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's always ambient levels of stress. Sometimes we're aware of our stress. Sometimes we just tell ourselves, I'm fine. And we're not even aware of how uptight we might be. We might be walking around like this going, no, I'm fine. There's no stress. Most of the time there is. And that's why I'm saying, go ahead and keep tapping here. Just go ahead and take this whole hour to be clearing stuff out. But in that last round, when I talked about, the anger that might be there, the anger at the powers that be, or the anger at parents and others who, were saying last year when people were first starting to talk about opening schools, and they're saying it's not safe to do so, and a lot of people were very outspoken about schools need to open, and this idea that they don't care. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And say, they don't care about my well-being. Or it may even simply be, they don't care about me. And just allowing yourself to be aware of what that feels like inside. Notice how old that feeling is. That may be a feeling that's been there since long before COVID. And maybe something that's been there as long as you've been a teacher, a feeling that parents or board members or whatever don't care about you, the teacher, or whatever position you might have there, or whatever position you might have if you're watching this and you're not a teacher. Notice how far back that might go, and that this may just be triggering that old feeling. Notice where in your body you feel that. The scale is 0 to 10, how strong it might be. Open your eyes. Even though I feel like they don't care about me, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel like they don't care about me, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel like they don't care about me, they don't care if I'm in harm's way. They don't care what the consequences are to me. And sometimes I feel like I just don't matter. And even though I feel like they don't care about me, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else involved in this. Because I choose to feel that free. All this feeling that they don't care about me. All this fear that they don't care about me. All this belief that they don't care about me. all this pain about them not caring about me. I put in so much effort. I make sacrifices, and they just ask for more. And I have all this evidence, maybe even long before COVID, that they take me for granted. They want me to do what I can do, but they don't really care about me. I don't matter to them. That's what it feels like. Although I'm allowing myself to see that I matter a lot to them. Otherwise, they wouldn't want me back. I matter to them. And they don't want me to be sick. They want me to be healthy enough to do my job. They want my kids to be healthy. No one wants me to be hurt. And people are just trying to figure out, what is the lesser of the evils? A lot of people are feeling that the harm from not having school is greater than the risk of disease. In some ways, it feels like we're back where we were last year. And that's not entirely true. A lot has changed. We know more about protecting ourselves. And people are taking all of that into consideration. And feeling like it's safe enough. I choose to be open to the possibility that it isn't that they don't care about me. They've just convinced themselves it's not as risky. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I choose to know that they do care. Not as much as I'd like them to. I'd like them to make me the most important person. But nobody's going to do that other than me. Everyone's putting their own needs first. Because that's what we do as human beings. Even when it looks like we're putting other people's needs first. It's not because we're bad or wrong or evil. It's because we're designed for self-preservation. There are a lot of people out there who feel threatened by schools not being open. Maybe on all kinds of different levels. And so they're sure it's more important that we go back to school. And I'm processing my emotions around that. All this fear that they don't care about me. All this anger about that. And with some of the decisions that some people are making, I have a right to be angry. I also have a right to feel peace. A lot of people would say, you should feel angry. But I'd rather feel peace. I can't get angry enough to make it safer. I can't get angry enough to change someone else's mind. I can't get angry enough to change anyone's mind about things like vaccines. People have a lot of anger around those things. People have a lot of fear around those things. All this fear. Because underneath all of the anger is fear. Fear that I can't take care of myself. Fear that I can't take care of the people I care about. This fear that I'm powerless. All this fear of being powerless. And all this fear that the people with the power just don't care. It doesn't serve them for me to get sick. They're trying to do their best. I still have a right to be pissed off if I want. I'm honoring my feelings. I'm acknowledging all of the feelings that I have going on. And I choose not to judge myself for those feelings. Even though other people might judge me for feeling them. People might judge me for not wanting to go back. People might judge me for the ways I try to keep myself safe. The fact is, no matter what I do, somebody's going to judge me. Because people judge. And that's none of my business. What's going on between their ears is none of my business. What's most important is that I know that I matter. And I care about myself. And I'm going to do what I can to take care of myself and the people that I care about, including the people I work with, including the people I serve. All this fear of being controlled by the government or anyone else. All this pain of being forced to do something. I have a choice. I don't want to have to make a choice. not because I'm weak or lazy. I just want things to work out really well. I want to create the best possible outcome for everyone involved, especially me. And that's not selfish. Just like they say on airplanes, got to put our own oxygen mask on first. Because if I don't take care of me, I won't be much good to anybody else. And I'm allowing myself to move through these fears. I choose to clear what doesn't feel like peace. Choose to clear what doesn't feel like love. I choose to clear what doesn't feel good. And one of the benefits of that is that letting go of stress and fear is really good for my immune system. The more I allow myself to feel peace and love, the stronger my immune system is. I choose to feel much stronger, physically and emotionally. Clearing these fears. Clearing these fears at a cellular level and all the way back through my past. Back through all the events in my life that might be contributing to this fear. Thanks, Patricia. Including any fear I might have about the vaccine. Whatever I might be afraid of. I have better ways to make decisions than using fear. I choose to make my decisions based on peace of mind. I choose to make decisions using my prefrontal cortex rather than my lizard brain. Allowing myself to know the difference. Whatever choices I might make, whatever decisions I might make, I'd rather make them without fear. I choose to be as clear-headed as possible so that I can make the best choice for myself. And I believe that'll benefit others as well. Giving myself permission to clear what doesn't feel like love. Giving myself permission to clear what doesn't feel like peace. Allowing myself to be aware of what I'm afraid of. And how true that might be. Am I really clear on the risks? Or is part of me afraid of something that's not real? There are some things that are very real. I choose to be open to the possibility that some of the fears that are controlling my decisions may be based on some misunderstanding, may be based on misinformation, because there's plenty of that out there. And as I allow myself to clear the fear, it's easier to distinguish between fact and fiction. It's easier to tune out those voices that have an agenda that's not based in fact. I'm allowing myself to get clear for myself. What's really right? And then make the best choices for myself. Because I deserve that. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it. Go inside and just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Hopefully you're feeling a greater sense of peace. And there may still be questions and fears, and it is confusing. There's definitely a lot of misinformation, a lot of people who are acting with the best of intentions, and a lot of people who, because of their own fears and their own anger and their own agendas, are not acting in everyone's best interest. It's sometimes hard to, sort through all that stuff and sort fact from fiction. But the more we clear away fear, the more engaged our prefrontal cortex is, and the easier it is to make the best decisions and to be able to look and look at the risk. And you can go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't already, and go ahead and keep tapping while we're chatting here. It would be great if we could say, what's the choice that has no risk? But there's a risk in every choice that we make. There's always a risk when we step outside our front door. There's a risk when we get out of bed, and there's a risk in staying in bed. So there's no, as long as we're continuing, there's no, none of us has a guarantee of no risk. So it's allowing ourselves to be in as clear and peaceful a frame of mind as possible so that we can best navigate those risks and make the best choices for ourselves and others. And, when we choose to go back into situations and looking at, okay, how do I make this the best possible outcome for myself and others? How do I keep myself safe? How do I keep my students safe? How do I make this worth whatever the risk is? Because again, there's a risk to everything. So it's allowing ourselves to say, how do I make this worth the risk? If I'm choosing to do this, how do I make it worthwhile? This is true of anything in life. Every day we get up, there's risk involved. So how do we make it worthwhile? Thoughts, comments, questions? Fears of how they actually hired crisis actors to make it look bad out there. I'm not aware of that. At least I'm not aware of being aware of that. I certainly know at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people were putting out things about, oh, it's not real, it's not that bad. Been there, done that. And it's bad. And there are ways that we can prevent it. So there are things we can do to keep ourselves safe. And I had believed that I was doing what I needed to be safe, and there were things we didn't know. So it is real, and there are real ways to protect ourselves. And who knows what people's agendas might be. All we can do is look at what can I do right now? What is the best choice that I can make for myself and others? And doing what we can. And again, allowing ourselves to work through the frustration, the fear, the doubt, because that stuff clouds our minds. And there's a lot of people out there who want us to be scared and angry, because then we won't think as clearly, and then they can take care of their agenda. So the best revenge is allowing ourselves to be as clear-headed as possible, so that we can make the best choices possible. And even beyond any sense of revenge or anything like that, it just feels better. If we decide, okay, I need to go back to work, then going back to work with a sense of fear and pain doesn't serve you. Allowing yourself to go, okay, what are the choices I'm going to make? And how peaceful can I feel as I make those choices? Because you deserve that. The universe always sends us what we need. Thank you for this. I'm in fear most days. Tap daily. Please make tapping, or there are other modalities you might use. I like tapping because it's so simple, but doing something on a daily basis to deal with that fear. Because, on a daily basis, you're going to be getting messages telling you, that prompt fear and stress. So allowing yourself on a daily basis to clean that, just like brushing your teeth on a daily basis, you're going to eat things that are going to leave residue on your teeth. So on a daily basis, you brush your teeth to deal with that. And allowing yourself to be as free and clear as possible. Hey, Ronnie, long time no chat. Yeah. And somehow there is a common ground, and it's looking for that. I truly believe that no one's highest good comes at the expense of somebody else's highest good. And when it looks like it's coming at our highest at the expense of ours, then it's probably not for their highest good, and they just don't know it yet. Or if there's something about it that I think someone else needs to change for my highest good, I may be mistaken. Let's allow ourselves to be as clear-headed as possible. And I can't possibly put all the answers out here. I can't, I can't say, well, this is what should be happening with schools, and this is what should be happening with vaccines and masks and stuff like that. All I know is that as we take care of ourselves, as we allow ourselves to clear stress, we're in a much better place to make better decisions for ourselves, and that benefits others. meditation, tapping, and a good mask and a face shield. Yeah, there are things we can do, and and we might say, hey, because I know about taking care of myself, those kids are going to be lucky to have me there. Better that they're there with someone like me who, this is for you to be saying to yourself, it's like, okay, I have this concern, I have this awareness of the risks. How lucky those kids are to have somebody who is thinking about that, who's not careless. They're much better off being with somebody who is taking these things into concern. So allowing yourself to, be who you can be for the world, and still doing what you can to take care of yourself in whatever way you need to, and allowing yourself to do that, allowing yourself to feel good about that. Even if it offends people, if you do something, if you put on a mask, and I've heard stories of people who, get really upset about people wearing masks. Let them get upset. Tell them about these videos on YouTube that they can go tap to clear their anger. Whatever you choose to do to take care of yourself, if other people are offended, that's for them to tap on. It is not your job to make sure other people aren't offended. We want to look at what we're doing. So, just going out there and blatantly yelling offensive things at people is not in our highest good. I'm certainly not saying, hey, don't care if people are offended, just go say whatever you want, because sometimes we may want to say things that's not in our highest good, regardless of whether or not people are offended. Don't go out there making racial slurs or whatever it might be. Don't go out there with the intention of insulting people, because that's not in your highest good. And as you clear what doesn't feel like love, as you clear what doesn't feel like peace, you get more clear about what feels right. So I hope that's beneficial. We're at the top of the hour. I like to end these sessions with a guided imagery for those of you who have not been on a call with me before. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this will still be here on my Facebook page. So if you can't do the guided imagery now and you want to do that later, come on back and do it then. If you're going to hang out with me for a few more minutes, then please go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing away all of that discomfort to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love, and allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing, and allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. So that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards: 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Remembering that each and every time you hear me say the words deep sleep, with your permission and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper, quickly, soundly, deeply. And the physical body relaxes. And with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well-being of body and mind. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Giving yourself permission in this moment to be in some beautiful place. Some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of this world. Some place where there's fresh air. Some place where you feel safe. You feel calm and confident. It's giving yourself permission for this moment to be in that place where you feel safe, where you feel calm, where you feel confident. Allow yourself to be aware of how that feels. Allow yourself to let that strengthen with each breath you take. Every breath you take in, feeling stronger and more confident. And allowing yourself to remember that you are a magnificent child of the universe, worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer. And there's so much evidence that you are worthy and deserving, including with each breath you take. Each breath you take is a request for something you need, and the universe is always saying yes. Take a big, deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. And notice in that moment when you asked for more, the universe still said yes. You're worthy and deserving of that. Just allowing yourself to feel stronger and healthier and more clear-headed as you allow yourself to move forward. And in this beautiful place, imagine yourself walking forward, and you have one direction in life from this moment on, and that is always forward into an ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And as you move forward, allowing yourself to know that as beautiful as things are all around, life also has risks. And the more you allow yourself to feel peace, the easier it is to see what's around, to notice what might be difficult, to notice what might be dangerous. Allowing yourself to breathe as easily as possible so that you feel clear-headed enough to make the best decisions for yourself, and that will benefit others. It is a benefit for other people for you to be able to make really good choices for yourself. And some people aren't going to recognize that. And some people might be angry and offended. And allowing yourself to know that what is for your highest good ultimately benefits others as well. And sometimes we're not always clear about what's for our own highest good. And that's where fear can sometimes cloud our minds. And fear can make us make choices that are not for our highest good. Allowing yourself to love and appreciate that part of you that sometimes tries to manipulate you with fear, thinking that it's for your best. It's always with the best of intentions. And allowing yourself to take another deep breath and let go of the fear so that you can be as clear-headed as possible and make those best decisions. Allowing yourself to be more and more clear about what is for your highest good. And as you get more clarity, allow yourself to feel more joy. So that wherever you go, whether it's back to school or anywhere else, wherever you choose to take yourself, allowing yourself to do so with as much peace as possible, with as much joy as possible, allowing yourself to make the most of that situation, allowing yourself to make it as rewarding as possible. Allowing yourself to continue letting your confidence grow. Let's go even deeper now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before, feeling much more confident in yourself, feeling a much greater sense of peace, a much greater sense of clarity, so that you can see what are the best choices for you. And just trusting that that will benefit others as well. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day powerfully moving forward, making positive, healthy choices, taking positive, healthy actions, and enthusiastically and joyfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And now go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and welcome back. And thank you so much for joining me for this. Thank you for doing what you do as a teacher, as a parent, as whatever it might be that you do. Thank you for doing what you can so that you can safely do what you do and make the difference you can make. And thank you for taking care of you, because you are a gift to this world. And, trusting no one really wants harm for you. They may be confused about things, but allowing yourself to do what you can do so that you can keep showing up and being the gift to the world that you are. And thank you. yeah, and this will be right here on my Facebook page. I'm also going to post it on my YouTube channel, so it'll be there. And if you have found it beneficial, please share it with others that you think it might help. So thanks so much. Thanks again, Carrie, for inspiring this. Long overdue that I do something for teachers, because I have great affection and admiration for teachers. You know, teachers, you're amazing people and don't get the recognition that you deserve. So grateful for this opportunity to at least give you some recognition and hopefully help you make your job a little bit easier, a little more joyful, hopefully a lot more, and feel a lot more peace. So, and whatever it is that you're doing to make the world a better place, thank you for doing that. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yes, Ronnie, same email. And yeah, thanks for sharing this with others. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for taking this opportunity to do some self-care for yourself, because that'll benefit others as well. And you're worth it. Take care, everyone. Love you guys.